had no contact with my dad in August. And August was a really powerful month for me because I was having a ton of epiphanies and breakthroughs and just understanding things at such a deeper level. And one of the main things that happened in August was my heart chakra just like was blasted open. So after months and months of really diving deep into my childhood trauma and my family's, essentially, I started to understand my dad in such a different way, you know, the enlightenment, why he is the way he is, what's really going on, why he's treated me so terribly my whole life. So me being that empathetic, intuitive, emotional, sensitive child that I've always been, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna pick up the phone and I'm gonna try to call my dad one last time, I guess, to see if he can hear me out, and I'm gonna come from a different perspective. So immediately when I grabbed the phone, I was already starting to shake a little bit. My voice, my throat chakra was closing up because this is my core wound and what makes me, he's the one who makes me feel the most disempowered. I feel like I can't even talk about him without getting nervous sometimes. Mind you, it had been several months since I said a word to my dad. I think, yeah, back in January of this year was the last time I actually spoke to him. We had a really bad falling out on the phone. He said some terrible things to me, and that was that. I made the decision that I wasn't going to speak to him in January. But then fast forward to August, my heart was open and new perspective. So I called, and you know, when he answered, of course, it was just ego. Oh, I thought I'd never hear from you again. I'm so glad you came around. So I just ignore that, and my voice already starts getting kind of shaky. And I was like, Dad, you know, I've really been wanting to talk to you. But first and foremost, like, I just want to say, like, I really do understand you better as a person now. I've really been doing a lot of work on myself, and I see a lot of things that have happened to you in your childhood that have impacted you as an adult and then our relationship. So I really came with it with understanding. And he was still calm, collected, okay. And he plays into it. He's like, yeah, I'm glad you finally understand. You know, your dad didn't have the best life, but he did the best he could. Like, you know, he always praised himself. But then the minute I said, but I really need to get some things that you have silenced me on my entire life. I really just want the opportunity to just tell you how your actions and your abandonment and the things that you exposed me to as a child really impacted me. And as an adult, I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying I don't want you in my life. All I'm saying is, like, please just let me talk. Like, hear me out. And then, of course, he did what most narcissistic parents do and threw it back on me, took zero accountability, cursed me out, raised his voice, and hung up the phone, told me to go to hell, all the things that he normally does. And then, but just this time something clicked. And I was like, I don't have to do this anymore. And that was it for me.